Hey guys, it's Tara and this is my 30-week pregnancy video. So if you saw my last video, you will have seen that I got electrocuted when we were on baby moon in Ibiza. So just under 2 weeks ago, I went for my glucose tolerance test, and this was at the hospital, and that was all fine. You fast for the night and then they take a blood test. And then you have a sugary drink that they give you, and then you wait 2 hours, which is kind of boring, so bring something to do. And then they take another blood test. And then, so they're just trying to see how your body deals with sugar. They will only call you if something's wrong, and they'll usually do that within a few days. And because it's almost been 2 weeks, I'm assuming I don't have gestational diabetes. So that's good. Now, while I was there, I thought I would ask a midwife about the fact that I got electrocuted, and they were a bit like, not really sure, but let's call Triage just to make sure. So they called Triage, and Triage said, why don't you just send her over? So I went over to Triage and they said, okay, we'll do a few tests because it's better safe than sorry. Let's just make sure everything's okay. So they took my green book and I went and sat down in the waiting room. And I wasn't waiting long, but during that period, a woman came in going into labor. And I was by myself in that waiting room. And she came in with her partner, and she just got on all fours and put her elbows on the chair in front of her and was, you know, doing the like labor breathing. And I was just freaking out in my head, but trying to be calm on the outside. So yeah, kind of saw someone going in labor firsthand, kind of, well, you know, the early stages. And then she obviously got seen before me, much more urgent. And later on, when I was called in, I could actually overhear what they were saying because it was just curtains separating us. And she was 4 centimeters dilated, and he was like, yep, you're definitely going into labor. And I was like, oh my God, she's definitely going into labor. So it was quite interesting to be there at that time and to hear what was going on and to almost see what was going on. But anyways, so in Triage, they took my temperature, they checked my blood pressure, they did a urine test, and then they did a CTG. So this is similar to when they get the ultrasound Doppler out and they listen to the baby's heartbeat. However, this time they graph it, and they're also looking for contractions as well. You don't normally really get a CTG done before your 3rd trimester, and the reason for that is because they kind of put the electrodes on your tummy. So it's not like an ultrasound where they can go and find the heartbeat and follow it. These are stuck on you. And if the baby's small, the baby's too small, like in your 1st and 2nd trimester, it'll be like moving around in the womb. So you won't get a constant heartbeat, and it won't be accurate monitoring. So he said to me it may be hard because I was just over 28 weeks at that point. So anyways, he strapped me up and the heartbeat was really strong, and I was just hoping that she wouldn't move too much so that we could get an accurate reading. And yeah, he was quite surprised because she was moving a lot, and that's actually what made it hard to hear the heartbeat at times, was because she was moving so much. So I took a little video, of course, and in between the beats, when you have that funny noise, that's her moving around. So there was luckily everything was fine and all the readings seemed normal. And what was kind of cool is that you get a little graph of the heartbeat. So it's not just that I got to listen, I got to actually see the heartbeat kind of. I also had a 28-week appointment with the midwife, and in that appointment it's all the usual checks. She also measured my belly again, and so at 28 weeks the belly should measure 28 centimeters. However, I was only showing up at 26. So that's sort of the borderline. If you're 2 above or 2 below, like that's okay, you're still within the like limits. If you go any more, then they send you for a growth scan. So I'm trying not to worry too much, but it is a bit, because I'm tall and because my husband's tall, it's like, well, shouldn't the baby be like quite big? Not that I want to push out a really big baby. Anyways, the midwife wasn't too concerned, and she said it's probably because I'm so active and because just naturally to begin with, like my muscles are quite tight and taut, especially in the abdomen region. So I'm trying not to worry. Hopefully everything's fine, and I'll get measured again at 31 weeks. She also did a few blood tests. So if anything's wrong, they call you within a few days of finding out the results. Otherwise, I'll just find out at like my next GP or midwife appointment, just to make sure that the levels were all okay. I also got my flu shot done. So I had booked it at my GP, except the only slot they had was like 6 weeks away. So I just got it done the next day at Boots, and for free as well, because you've got the maternity certificate. You just show that. You didn't even need to make an appointment, and yeah, it was easy. So go. Now, something really annoying and another stupid thing that happened to me was that I left my phone on the train when I was coming back from work one day. But I have it. I'm so lucky. Oh my gosh. So basically I was on a train. I have to get 2 trains to get home. I was on the first train, and I got off of it to change platforms to get the second train. And almost right away I was like, I always check my pockets when I'm going somewhere. I'm just unconsciously checking for the phone and like checking for my ring. And I checked and it wasn't there. And I was like staying calm. I was like, okay, let's really search the pockets. No. Okay, maybe it's in my handbag. So I went and sat down. I was like, okay, no, it's not there. Okay, let's empty the handbag. I emptied it. No, it's not there. I didn't freak out completely. I went back to the platform and I asked someone there, and he said, oh, you need to go downstairs and speak to someone there. I went down there, spoke to someone there, said, oh, you need to go to the platform and there's a little room there and speak to someone there. So I went there and they were like, okay, let's try and figure out what train you were on. Because I get on a train that goes to it can go to all different sorts of places. I'm just going Charing Cross to London Bridge. So we figured out which one it was, and then he was gonna call one of the rail people on that train. And as he did that, another one of his colleagues came in, holding my phone. I was like speechless, and I was like, oh my God. I just started bawling my eyes out because I could not, I really, at that point, I didn't think I'd see it again. I was already in my head thinking, I've got to buy a new phone. I've lost all these photos. I've lost all these messages. Like, oh my God. So when I saw it, it was like so much relief, so many hormones. And, but he wouldn't give it to me. He didn't believe me that it was mine. So he was like, what's your number, ma'am? So they had to call the phone just to make sure that it was my phone. I was like, come on. So they called and it rang. And then he still wouldn't give it to me. And I was like, okay, the tears were kind of stopping because I was getting annoyed. He was like, the attendant who got it, he wants to see you. And I was like, okay. So he walked over with me, still wouldn't let me touch my phone. And he was like, he presented me to the person who had got my phone. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. How did you get it? And apparently a passenger had collected it off the seat that I was sitting on and handed it to him, who was on the platform. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. It's so kind of you and everything. And then anyways, finally I got my phone back. So what I've done is, it's actually already faded, but I've put a little card in the phone, and it says, If found, I'm pregnant and very forgetful, so if you find my phone, please return by calling my husband. I will repay you. Thank you so much, Tara. So it's a bit embarrassing, but I need to cover myself because it's probably gonna happen again. Now I'm back at work, obviously, after our amazing baby moon in Ibiza, but it is really nice to be back and to get into my routine at work, doing ballet class and a bit of gym stuff and a bit of Pilates. Just seeing how I feel day to day, and actually I feel a lot better about myself and my body because I think having been away and probably even like grown a little bit more, like I really can't compare myself with them now because I clearly have a baby and it's just a different body shape. I think before I was just feeling like big and fat and just not, I guess, not that I didn't feel pregnant, but now it's like a clear shape of a pregnant belly, which is nice, and it makes me unique and I'm proud of it. So that's good. I've also been keeping myself busy, been doing a few coaching sessions. So I've got a lovely guy that I see, Jack, and he's great. We just work together about once a month, but he's lovely to see and he's improved so much in just a few sessions. And I also did a photo shoot at Somerset House for Baby London magazine. So it's run by a great team of women, and we sort of all got together on the day and we kind of pulled that shoot together in about an hour and a half. And it should actually be out now by the time I release this video. So check it out. It's called Baby London magazine. And there's a few shots of me in there and a little bit of an interview. So next time I'll tell you all about World Ballet Day. It's when we have a full day of live streaming from different ballet companies around the world, and the Royal Ballet is one of them. And I will be appearing in ballet class pregnant, so I will be sure to include some footage for you. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment below, and I'd love to know if you guys have had a CTG and how it went for you. And also if you've had any experiences like in Triage or any of your other appointments where you've seen someone like go into labor. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and please subscribe for more. Thanks a lot. Bye guys.